Community Connection on KGNB, brought to you by Waters International Realty.
This is Paige Green with your Community Connection. We're here with Racheal Frederick, the Development Director of River City Advocacy. Racheal, how are you?
I am good. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So, can you tell me what River City Advocacy is?
Yes, we are a counseling center, but so much more than that. We provide individual counseling, we provide peer support groups, and we have an art center that is free to the community, open every single day from 9:30 until 3 p.m. So we not only provide people with their individual counseling needs, but we build communities through collaboration of people with lived experience in peer support groups. And in our art room, people can come in and express themselves in any art modality that fits them. We have all types of supplies, and the people that come there have been coming for years, and we celebrate holidays with them. We celebrate birthdays. We just, really foster building connection and community, which is one of the things I think that makes River City Advocacy and Counseling Center unique in the world of therapeutic modalities.
Who does River City Advocacy serve?
We serve people who need mental health counseling. We operate on a sliding scale. So a lot of the people that come to us are very low income, and they pay on average about $17 per session. And the rest of the cost, which is $79 per hour it costs for 1 hour of counseling, comes through generous grants like the United Way, the McKenna Foundation, Kronkowski Foundation. They're all supporters of us and make sure that we're able to serve this community.
Now, you wanted to talk about suicide prevention. What does suicide prevention mean?
That's a great question. September is Suicide Prevention Month, and when you think about the prevention of suicide, it comes both ways. It's the person who is experiencing a mental health situation, whether it's depression, bipolar, addiction. Those are all factors that contribute to ultimately getting to that place where people contemplate ending their own life. And early intervention is key, right? So part of that is normalizing the conversation about mental health. We're still, unfortunately, in a society where culturally it's not acceptable to openly talk about feeling depressed or feeling that life is out of control or being in a dark place. We're comfortable talking about having a headache or we have a cold, but still there is this resistance to be open and talk about mental health. And so part of prevention, I believe, is normalizing those types of conversations and making early help, early intervention an option for folks. And so that's part of it, but it's also knowing how to respond in crisis. And when somebody's in crisis, knowing what those resources are in our community are also critical. And having friends and family members that are capable of recognizing those signs and feeling comfortable enough to reach out and say, hey, are you in trouble? Is there, are you feeling that, you need some help or something to that effect. One of the things that if you have a loved one who is suffering from a mental health condition and you're wondering how serious it is, you can be looking at things like, is there a history of addiction? Is there physical serious illness? Is there major loss? Are there any serious legal or financial problems? Is there a history of trauma or abuse? Are there mental disorders? And those are all risk factors if they go untreated that could potentially lead somebody to contemplate suicide. And knowing what those warning signs are a little tricky, and often we don't see that until we're looking at it retrospectively. So if we're able to understand and recognize those signs early on, we could be able to help somebody who might be in a really dark place and could be contemplating ending their life. And some of those things are, are they focusing on death? Do they have a plan to commit suicide? Are they starting to give their things away? Are they calling friends and family members and saying goodbye? They could become more withdrawn. There's more despair. You could see mood swings and changes in sleep patterns. There could be excessive drinking or taking of drugs, something that's outside of the norm of what they would normally do. And all of those things, if we're keyed in and aware, we can potentially help that person find the support that they need to get the help that they need and not follow through with a suicide attempt. So there's different ways that I think we can approach it from prevention, but all are really important.
Racheal, once you recognize those signs and risk factors, what is the next step for someone to take?
It's reaching out for help. And for somebody who's experiencing depression, managing a shower can be a challenge. And so having family, having friends, having, people around you to support you and help you find those resources that could help get you into counseling or help find that crisis support is so critical. And what we have here locally in New Braunfels is we have mapcomal.org, which has all of the mental health services that are available to folks. These are all available to people who are low income. We have MCOT, which is a mobile crisis outreach team. If somebody is in crisis, rather than calling 911, you can call 988, which is Suicide Prevention Hotline, or you can call the Mobile Crisis Outreach Team at 877-466-0660. And they have a team of people that are available 24 hours a day to come help, and they're trained in addressing mental health issues and know what the resources are to help get you to the next appropriate step that you need. There's also MHDD, the Mental Health and Developmental Disability Center, has a crisis stabilization unit that offers up to a 14-day inpatient stay for people who need to stabilize. But then most importantly after that is the follow-up with counseling, and that's where River City Advocacy and Counseling Center comes in. People, once they are out of crisis, can find hope and connection here with River City Advocacy, and whether that's through the peer support or the Arts Center or individual counseling or all of those things, we are available to help with that long-term stabilization and also with that early intervention. We hope to reach people before they get to that place of crisis.
Racheal, if someone is on the fence of reaching out to River City Advocacy, maybe for themselves or someone else, what would you say?
We've had a lot of testimonies lately from our counselors and from our clients. And the resounding message over and over again was, it wasn't easy to walk through the door. I was in a really dark place, but RCA literally saved my life. And it's just taking that very first step, whether it's coming into our art center, whether it's coming into individual counseling or to a peer support group, wherever somebody feels the most comfortable to start that process. But once they're here, we have people that have been coming to RCA for 10 years, and they're giving back through, teaching art classes, or they're helping, run peer support groups. And it's been life-changing for them. And to hear our counselors talk about seeing progress with people who have been, coming in for years, it truly gives hope. It truly brings people that sense of having community, and community with people in a very non-judgmental place. It's very much a come as you are. Whatever your background is, whatever your belief systems are, whatever your culture, here everybody shares a common understanding of one another, that we've all, been through difficult times in life, and this is a place where you can feel safe and find people who are understanding and get support in so many different ways.
That website to reach out was rivercityadvocacy.org. Thank you to Racheal Frederick, the Development Director of River City Advocacy.